The eCom Seller Summit was created to prove that with the right tools and training, anyone and everyone can make money in e-commerce. So many people want to try their hand at e-commerce, selling on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and more, but they're afraid they won't be successful. This summit will show you that there's many ways to do e-commerce, and there are many platforms you can explore, because e-commerce really has no limits. It really can pay your bills, and e-commerce never sleeps. There's nothing like waking up to profits from getting sales all night long. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Seller Summit. Before we get started, please be sure to take notes. Today's eCom Seller Summit speaker is Toni Mitchell. Toni is an expert at couponing and finding deals. Her favorite phrase is, "Let me see if I have a coupon for that." She loves to save money, which helps increase her profit margins in her e-commerce business. She calls herself the coupon countess, and she's been known to regularly save anywhere from 65 to 90% on the items that she sells. Today, she'll be sharing her various money-saving techniques with us. Toni, thank you so much for joining us in the eCom Seller Summit and sharing your knowledge with us today.
Hey, this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Seller Summit, and today's session speaker is Toni Mitchell. Now, Toni is going to be covering couponing with us, but first she's going to go through a few things, and then she will share with us tips so that we can increase our profit margins. So, Toni, I'm so glad you're here. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for having me here today. I am talking about one of my favorite things, which is couponing and dealing. I love to deal. I love to shop. And there's some reasons behind that. So let me get started here with this. And let's see, come on. And my story, I'm going to just tell you, I was one of three. I was the youngest of three sisters. And of course, I was a late in life child. I was told I was planned, but you know, it's a little shady. Not really. My parents were raised in the Depression. And so those of you who understand what the Great Depression was about, there was very little money. My mother even talked about my grandfather and her brother peeling sweet potatoes for 10 cents an hour. Her oldest brother went and worked in on a WPA Works Project Association up in Washington State, I believe, or up in the Northwest. And he was there for several months, and this man lived in camps. So she definitely knew what it was like. I kind of thought that it was a little bit, over the top, but it really wasn't, especially the more I learned about it. As I said, she told me stories about not having enough food. She even told me one time she got spanked for asking for a nickel's worth of candy because her dad only had a penny. She used to eat cornbread and buttermilk. Some of you may see your grandparents still do that. I don't understand that. But saving money was a necessity. It wasn't a luxury, especially for the goals my parents had for us. And they had three goals for all my sisters and me: for us to be educated, for us to be Christian women, and for us to know how to work. And they definitely made sure we knew how to work, even though my sisters might disagree with you on that. But getting a deal was ingrained in my brain at an early age. My mother used to look at the newspaper when it came out on Thursday, our local paper, and she would go to one grocery store on Tuesday and the other grocery store on Wednesday, because they offered double stamps, which at that time is what the reward system that they had at the time to get women to shop at these grocery stores. They used gold stamps and green stamps, and they could get merchandised if they had enough books. And I started using coupons I saw my mother do it my whole life, but really started using them in college. Getting a deal was just one of those things. We never went to the full price section. We always went to the half price, or 75% off was my mother's favorite thing. But I used them in college. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to have money to go out on the fourth weekend of the month. It was kind of selfish. But my roommates saw me one time, and this is when they all got on board. I took those coupons and I took a $100 grocery bill and got it down to almost $10.
Oh my gosh.
So, isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's insane.
But anyway, that was when they all got on board with it. And when I got married to my first husband, and because of some bad financial decisions, we had to use them. My husband, he's no longer living, but my first husband at the time liked to buy sports jerseys and sports cards, and we got in some financial difficulties, and we just had to use coupons. It was a fact of life. And anyway, as we started having children, I'm a school teacher by trade, and the problem with that is that it doesn't matter what you make, kids still want to have the coolest, newest things. And so that was how coupons helped me out. I wanted to buy my daughter an iPad, my oldest one. She was about 13. And those were the things at the time, an iPod. Those were the cool things. Everybody got, I believe it was called an iPod Shuffle. And one of the local discount stores was offering, for every prescription, they would give you a $25 gift card. And I got every one of our prescriptions filled there for about 3 months. And so I was able to get her an iPod Shuffle for very little money because I had all those gift cards. Wow. And again, that just brought a lot of value to our family. So anyway, that's just kind of, as I got older, I got better at it. And that's just kind of where we're at right now. Okay. So.
Man, well, my parents, they ate cornbread and buttermilk, and that was a big thing definitely in the South, I can tell you that. And I've actually eaten it before too, but it had to be sweet cornbread. I couldn't do that other. So.
I couldn't either. I tried it once. I just almost threw up. So.
Oh my gosh. Somebody will relate. Anyway.
I hope so. And if they may have seen pictures of it, I don't know. But anyway, that's my story. And why is this not going? Okay. And here's just some pictures of my family, just so you can kind of get an idea. And I put a couple of these photos because my youngest daughter would be furious. This is the one on the left are my 3 sisters, my 2 sisters and me. This is my oldest sister. She passed away about 3 years ago. This is my other sister, and there I am. We were pretty young there. There's my entire family. There's my mother. And she was the one who could really, take $1 and squeeze it till she probably got $1.05 out of it. And
wow.
She is just, that's the way she was. And that's her sister next to her. And then those are my 2 children right there. And there I am a while back. There's my oldest daughter when she graduated from high school, and my youngest daughter. There I am, my first husband kind of cut out there. And then there's my oldest daughter when she graduated, my youngest daughter when she graduated from high school. I didn't realize that photo didn't go off as well as it should have. And there I am, there's my husband, my current husband, and there we are again there. These are my whys. I do this because I want to be able to get the most for the least. And, my mother is the one who taught me how to do what I do. My sister Patty taught me a little bit as well. But the reason I do this is to make a better life for my family. So, anyway,
I agree.
So why do I coupon? Is to help pay, money to pay off student loans, credit cards, or get something I want now. And I've done it for years. And it does, as far as my business, help me get a higher ROI, especially when I get a deal. And I like it. And it is fun. It's almost like a game to me. It's like some people like to gamble. I do like to go to the slot machines, but I really like to do coupons because basically coupons are money that it doesn't, that's not green. But it is green, sort of. Does that make sense, Nicole?
Oh, I can agree. I have a horrible coupon game, and I have been gradually working on it over the years. So Yay. I'm hoping your session will give me some tips and strategies on how I can improve my coupon game because I have a horrible coupon game right now. So.
Well, I hope I can too, because this is one thing that doesn't take a lot of people believe that it's really hard, and it's not. These people on TV are the reasons why people think it's so hard. And people, a lot of my friends in the past have said, oh my gosh, are you an extreme couponer? And a lot of people claim I am. I don't believe I am. I believe that I like to get a good deal. And I believe that's what I do. Before I really got into retail arbitrage, I'd bring it up to work, or I donate to charity. And I still donate a lot to charity because that's what it allows me to do. It allows me to give and bless other people as well. So are you going to end up like those people on TV and having all sorts of clutter in your house and, have like something like this? And this is just one example. Then that's a choice. If you want to do that, you can do that. But at the same time, but if you're finding items like the one to the right to sell on a different platform, it may be there for a bit, but if you don't get it out of the house, it depends on you and depends on how quickly you want it out of there and what your plans are. If you're, hoarding for the next apocalypse, then it'll be there. If you are wanting to donate to other people, then it won't be there long. if you're wanting to sell it on a platform, whether it be Facebook Live or Facebook Marketplace, or if it's Amazon or eBay or wherever you want, whatever your platform is, then it just really depends on you. Again, it's your choice. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these, and I know like some of these people don't get stuff absolutely free. I know you're going to go over that, but I'm looking at those numbers and going, oh my gosh, like the volume here.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy, but it's going to be major profits if you sell it on another platform for you.
Exactly.
Major profits.
Amen. So I just wanted to put that number out because I went and figured that out this morning. And this is just on 2 stores I go to. I couldn't get the numbers for another one, actually for the 2 other ones. But this is just from Kroger and from CVS, which are stores that are in this area. I've saved almost $6,500 since January the 1st of this year.
All right. And for those who don't know, we are like in the first week of March. This is crazy.
So, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that's with coupons, that's with, their sales, but $6,400.
So you're averaging your savings just on these 2 stores alone, or almost just under $3,000 a month, probably.
About, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, some of it is, for example, I walked into one of these stores the other day and they had some products that were 80% off, and I scanned them. And sure enough, the ROI on those, is almost triple, 300%. And they don't weigh much of anything. And I said to myself, score. And I only got one specific type and only got one specific color. And that was it, because the other ones had so many players in the game, I didn't want to go there. But the ones that I did purchase only had 3 players. And I'm like, okay, I can do that, because I can flip that pretty quickly. And the rank is below 10,000, and I'm definitely going to flip that quick. So it's
crazy. My gosh.
So, I mean,
let me just tell you. So Toni and I live in the same area, like literally. Mm-hmm. And I told Toni, I'm like, we have to go shopping together. And Toni took me shopping once. And I was.
She had to leave. Her phone died. It was funny.
It was funny. But the other thing was like the savings. Like she was real time with her game. She was like, oh, and go pull up this app and go do this and go do this. Okay, now you're going to save this much money on I was like, oh my gosh. It just comes natural for her. It comes completely natural. And you're going to make a lot of money if you follow some of the strategies that she teaches you today. So go ahead, Toni, keep going.
Okay. And this is what in cash I've gotten since January the 1st. And so she said it's 2 months. Now, granted, one of these was a big payout, and you'll see the evidence of that shortly. But these are some things, these are some apps and that I use to buy some of my things that I sell in retail arbitrage. Now, some of it, it's just things that I use in my house. But $347.50 since January 1st. That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
And that's just for shopping. They're paying me to shop, and I personally like that. But that's just wanted to get those numbers. Oops, let me go back. That's what I wanted you to see. That was a check I received in February from one of my places called Ebates. And I think that's pretty impressive. That was over 1 quarter. I did my shopping through that site, and that's what I got. And I almost fell on the floor, because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I normally average on Ebates, PayPal cashback, I normally average about $75 a month. And then on Ebates, I don't average as much as you do.
Well, I also try to plan my shopping when there's a high percentage. And that's one of my strategies, is to make sure that, and I took that in the car, by the way, that's that scary steering wheel. I drive an old car because as I said, I'm an educator. And if you drive an old car, then nobody wants to hit you in the parking lot. That steering wheel is old. But I literally took that one afternoon, right before I put it in the bank. And it's a lot of money, but I always wait until, if I know there's a big sale going on at a store, and I look and they're giving me back 7 to 15%, I am there, because I'm getting 15% on what I'm purchasing, and I have a coupon on top of it. So there's all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to show you a couple examples, actually one of how I do what I do. One way to save money, okay?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, well, first of all, we got a coupon, just basically telling you we've covered it without saying it. It's just money to me. They've got electronically, paper, internet, printables, whatever. It's money. And there is a little bit of vocabulary. And we'll just talk about your mileage may vary, because sometimes the deal is at one store, but it's not at another. Buy one, get one. And that, if you buy one, you can get it free or you can get it discounted. It just really depends on what the store's doing. Stacking, using a store coupon with a manufacturer's coupon. And there's a lot more, but I'm not going to bog you down. But those are a couple things that I'll refer to as I go along. But those are the couponer vocabulary that all these people talk about. They'll say these things and a few more. But anyway, let's get to the next thing. So we find them everywhere. So here's an example. And I did
wait a minute. Go back to that one real quick. You said you're finding them everywhere.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, you can find them anywhere. Convenience stores. That is one of the biggest places I find coupons, especially for candy. Because as a seller, Nicole knows this as well as I do, is that if you are ungated in grocery, you can make some money quickly.
Oh yeah.
And that is, I thought when I heard that a year ago, I thought she was crazy. I really did. And then I tried it. And all of a sudden, literally probably about 30% of my sales now are in that area, because I get it quick. I usually flip it pretty quickly. And if I can catch it on sale or on clearance, Katie, bar the door, because I've got it. You can find them at the grocery store. You can find them on the internet. And of course, the traditional source is the newspaper. Some people go to the recycling plant and they dive in a dumpster. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I will find them other places. I will not dive in a dumpster. I'm just not that limber to get in there. B, I'm a little scared of heights. And C, I'm just not going to. I don't know about you, Nicole. Do you want to get in a dumpster with it?
I'm not that interested.
I'm not that interested. I'll pay that extra, $1 or $2 or whatever. So there's other places that you can find them as well, but these are the main ones that people are familiar with. So that's you just have to keep your eye out, just like anything else. If you're watching this, more than likely you're into some sort of e-commerce business. You know that if you're in e-commerce, you've just got to be looking all the time. You never know when you're going to find something.
Yeah.
As far as profitability, as far as a product, and the same thing is with coupons. 2 days ago, I was in a convenience store, and I looked down and I saw some coupons for Oreos. And I know they're going to have those Peeps Oreos very soon. And I was like, score. And I just grabbed some and was like, okay, yay, go me. I'm going to save, an extra $1. That's an extra $1 profitability I have on that product when I do send it in. So,
okay.
That's a tip. If you didn't hear that, you just got one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now, here's an example with codes or paper. Now, I mentioned Kohl's because Kohl's is a e-commerce person's best friend, especially when they do their deals of the 30% off. They are your best friend because especially with their clearance, especially on appliances, things like that, they have some of the best prices if you remember to use your coupons and use some of the deals they have together. I personally don't really care about the Kohl's Cash. I know some people who swear by it. And I have gotten some deals using my Kohl's Cash. Again, that's another way that you can be more profitable. And most of you know what Kohl's Cash is. And if you don't, I'll explain it in a moment. But I'm just giving this Kohl's as an example because I've got some screenshots to actually show you how much you can save just by clicking on one or two things.
Okay.
This is an example of men's items because right now, when we're filming this, they are doing an extra coupon on top of it, which is again what we call stacking. And you need at least $50 of items, probably more, and you need to purchase clearance because you need to get more stuff. It may be for a clothing drive. It may be that you have found a specific shirt that's really in demand and you know that it's on clearance and you want to flip it. Or it may be just the fact that your teenager has gotten a bunch of stuff dirty and they're growing fast. And whatever the case is, you just, for whatever reason, you want to buy clearance. And again, that's what I do. I go to the clearance rack first anyway. So.
Yeah, we're going through a growth spurt over here. We just literally, oh my gosh, my son has actually grown 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches since school started. And I was not prepared for that.
Wow. And get ready. He's going to grow some more because I know a kid who has grown 4 inches since December, because I looked at him when he came back from break. I said, "You've grown." He said, "You think so?" I said, "Absolutely. You have grown." And sure enough, we saw a photo of him from August. Actually, it wasn't August, it was October. And then I looked at him this morning. I said, "Oh my gosh." And he said, "I know, my face is so much thinner." I said, "Exactly. You have grown. I told you you had." So the growth spurt for boys especially, oh my goodness. I mean, it's rough.
It's rough right
It's
now.
rough, and it's rough on your pocketbook. So
Oh yeah.
anyway, so I didn't show the cart, and I should have, but I put in about $50 or $60 worth in here. And right now I took out all the coupons, but right now there's an extra 20% online and in store. And with men's, there's an extra 10 when you purchase 50 or more. There's a couple of things that are always excluded. For example, Levi's usually are not on the coupon thing, which is sad, but true. And neither is Nike. They've made sure that they are no longer part of the Kohl's coupon thing. A couple other brands such as Dyson, which really made me sad. But and food, they don't let you use these on food anymore either, which again is another sad thing, because you could really get some good deals on coffee back in the day. But here we go. So you get your free shipping, yay us. So we did spend $75, but that's wonderful. But I need to save some more money, because again, I'm trying to get the most for the least.
Yeah.
Well, so this is out of order, but anyway, no, it's not. Okay. You have your March wallet. All of a sudden I put that code in. You see, that's $20, $21.12 savings just by putting that March wallet in there. Now take a look at when I stack this. You ready?
Now
to
let
go?
me just explain what she's saying by March wallet. So that March wallet is like a discount code.
Right. That's what I was.
Take an additional one. Yeah.
It is, and I have a account. So I mean, I've already in Kohl's, and I have a credit card and everything else. But so I've logged in. I've put that in there. So I've got my March wallet code, and if I didn't have that, I could find it very easily.
Wow.
So it's not a secret. So, and then the next thing is this 10 off 50, which they have it on their homepage, no less. They're saying, "Hey, you want to save some money? Here, I got $10 off for you." So look at that. All of a sudden, yes, that decreased by $2, but I added that. So I actually increased my savings by $8. And if we looked in that cart, if I had and I should have done that, and I didn't, Nicole, you can spank me later, or yell at me. But the bottom line is that I went from spending over $100 to spending $80. Actually, it was 110, I believe, because if I add 10 plus 19, that's $29. $29 savings just by getting those two codes in there. And that's not hard. That's an easy fix. So if you guys will do some of these things, you will just on your own personal spending, which will help you in your business, is by just finding a code. And codes are easily found in all different places. So,
what are a couple of your favorite places to go and find codes? We saw the Ebates.
I love Ebates because they have almost every code there. And if there's not one, I literally will go to Coupon Cabin. Coupon Cabin, I go there occasionally. There's another one, Retail Me Not. I like that one. And Deals P.PLS or Deals Plus. I like those three. But I literally sometimes, I'll try a code, and if it doesn't work, I'll find another one. And I'll find something that sticks finally. In fact, that was a good question, Nicole, because I was recently at Soma, and that's a woman's store, and they were having a sale. They were having their semi-annual sale, and I was needing some yoga pants and tanks and some things like that, and I actually got a couple of great tops. And I was about to check out. My husband had given me a gift card, and that was awesome. And I put in my loyalty code number, and I had like a $5 coupon. Yay me. And then I did a quick search on my phone, and I found a 20% off coupon, which saved me another, it was $240.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, just by having my phone, getting a code and saying, "Hey, let's try this." And they first said, "Oh, that's not going to work." And when they saw it work, they said, "What was that code again?" And they wrote it down for some of their better customers. And stores that you go to and frequent a lot, they'll do that for you, especially if you have a large purchase and they like you and you're not rude. they'll say, oh, we've got this code here for you. You want to use it? And you need to say, yes, I want to use it. Because whatever you save on one hand, of course, is where you can either put it in your business, put it in your personal, pay down debt, whatever your issue is, you can do that with the money you save.
Yes.
So that is why I do what I do. And that's the reason I like, couponing so much. So that is one example. And the Soma is another. Again, that's using codes that are on the internet. So let's see this looked a lot better, but yesterday.
That's all right. It works out. Go ahead.
Well, each one of them has their own coupon policies. Winco has its own. You can only use one coupon per item. And so, like, for example, if I buy 2 things of Oreos, I can only use one coupon. Walgreens has its own thing. Kroger is very particular. It's up to the store manager. So certain stores, the Kroger closest to my house does not accept internet coupons at all. I mean, as far as printables, they will accept paper coupons and they'll accept coupons from their app, but they are very picky about it. And they will try to find a reason not to take coupons. Albertsons, that's United, that's Market Street, that's Tom Thumb.
Yep.
They have their own policy. Food Tree has its own policy. Dollar General has its own policy. And by the way, did you know that Dollar Tree takes coupons?
Yes. Yes,
I know.
do.
People just don't even think about Dollar Tree because they're thinking everything's $1 as it is. Why would I want to do that? Well, they give you money because you can use it up to the value, which if you have a $1 coupon, you can possibly get it for free. CVS does something that's really cool, which I'm going to pull over and show you, which they give you, if you have one of their cards, they give you, they'll take a look at what you purchased. And some people get nervous about that. My sister does not have any of these cards. And I say, okay, it doesn't bother me because I'm not doing anything illegal or anything like that. So they look at what I purchased and they give me coupons based on that. And that's really kind of cool because I have some for makeup. And makeup, again, of course, if you get it for really inexpensively, will make you a decent profit. So Target has coupons. They have an app now as well. They used to have paper coupons that they could print, but they don't do that anymore. You have to have their app and you have to have Cartwheel. But again, there's more. I mean, they are really migrating toward digital coupons. And I believe it's because of all these people who get Photoshop out and they manipulate coupons. And it's really sad that people do that. But they do. And, the acts of a few punish the most of us. So,
yeah.
Even things that I could use a year ago, I can't use anymore. So the coupon game changes almost daily. So it's really important to keep up with it. So that's the reason why I put some of these vendors here is so you could check your vendors or give you a list of, hey, I'm going to go over to this area or that area. One store in particular in the United States, which I'm just so sad because there's not any here, is Harris Teeter because they double. And they're the only grocery and drugstore that I'm aware of in this day and age that doubles coupons still up to 99 cents. And that is awesome because if you live in an area with a Harris Teeter, you are going to really get some deals because if you have a 99-cent coupon, if it's $1, they're not going to double it. But if it's an 85-cent one, then all of a sudden you've got $1.70. And that is some money, especially, and I don't know what you, Nicole, $1.70, if you multiply that by 10, I know what that is. And
oh, yeah.
So
that's big savings.
Big savings. So,
and you also have Dollar General there, which is one of my favorites. I know that they also have coupons. I have seen those.
Yeah, Dollar General is, especially on Saturdays. The best day to go to Dollar General is on a Saturday, and you know that because they give you money to go there on Saturday. I guess a lot of times stores will give you an incentive to come in there and shop. And maybe at one time Saturday was their slow day, and they have an app where you can put coupons on there, and they also have some store coupons as well that are just for Dollar General products. And at Christmas time, the last 2 years, I've thought that was really awesome that they give you 25% off when you spend $75 on toys. So if you had $70, I always threw in $5 because $75 or 52. I don't know. What about you, Nicole? I know I'm going to do 52 every time.
Oh yeah. Save that money.
Amen. And that's, again, when you save money, and some of those things moved very quickly for me this Christmas. I was making some really good money and really good ROI, and it was moving quickly. And my husband would say, how'd you do that? I said, I did that. I stacked their Saturday coupon, and I had a coupon for this and a coupon for that. And then I had 25% off toys, and then they had them off 50%. It was crazy. He would just shake his head and just say, okay, whatever. Give me the receipt and I'll put it in my spreadsheet. I said, okay.
Now, I will tell you that a lot of people don't even know that Dollar General also has a clearance section as well. And so that I do know about.
Yeah, the clearance section is pretty good. And because I'm going to try to get there next week, because I'm Tuesday morning, they open at 8 and I can't get there till in the afternoon. So you'll just have to brag to me about that later.
All right. Yes. So all of these stores. So I know that the spreadsheet is split. There's Dollar Tree, which wraps, and then Dollar General. But the rest of them you can see. If you've got a Rite Aid in your area, Albertsons, you can look up that family of stores, Food Lion and Kroger. So look up that family of stores in your area and see if you have any of those. And She also mentioned Harris Teeter. So.
Yeah, Harris Teeter is, again, when I go see my father-in-law, I just am jealous every time because I just pout and say, why can't we have one here? But anyway.
We got the HEB.
That's right. So how does this work? But I mean, basically, bottom line is, as I just mentioned, a lot of them are migrating to digital coupons. A lot of them will say, well, it saves paper. But bottom line is they're really trying to prevent fraud, because the reason why coupon manufacturers why stores take coupons is the fact they get paid 8 cents for every coupon that's legitimate that you give them, because they send them to a place, and normally it's in El Paso, Texas, where they sort them out and they send them back to whatever manufacturer. For example, if it's a Procter & Gamble coupon, they send them all back to Procter & Gamble, and Procter & Gamble gives that company or that corporate organization a check for however many coupons that they've redeemed. So it's a big, it's really, for them, it's a big source of money. And if someone's committing fraud with it, they are losing hundreds of dollars, because not only are they losing the value of the coupon, they're also losing the 8-cent incentive. So that is the reason they really have to cut the fraud. So
I get that. Okay.
So that's the reason why stores take them, is because they get rewarded as well. So I didn't know if y'all were aware of that or not, but they do, which is kind of cool.
All right. Okay.
So anyway, let's go on. So you notice that Ebates notification. We were going to get to it later, but I went on ahead and talked about that now. And Ebates, again, is one of those shopping sites online. And actually, they have some things you can that you can buy in store, which is, I don't know if that's pretty new or not, because I did have an Ebates account about 9 years ago. And I had one thing. And actually, when I tried to join, I said, oh, no, you have an account. Too bad, so sad. And sure enough, I did. And I started really using it a couple months ago just to see if it was really valuable. But before then, when my husband and I started dating, my husband, Chris, we actually met a long, long time ago, and we reconnected, and we had a long distance relationship for 5 years. And so he lived in one city and I lived in another, and we saw each other about every 3 weeks. And American was the big hub in our two cities. So I started shopping through the American Advantage online site, because I would get miles, which would give me free tickets. And at the time, that was important to me, because 25,000 miles is a free ticket, and that kept me from having to spend a couple of $100s, or him to have to spend a couple of $100s. And I was also, when Nicole and I were talking about this originally, I even mentioned to Nicole that I would change my electricity about every year, because American Advantage would give me 7,000 to 10,000, sometimes 17,000 miles just to change my electricity.
Oh my goodness.
And I was all over that. I was all over getting anything to see, it just helped us with our both of our budgets. So I used that for the longest time until recently. And, but then again, if you fly a lot, that may be something that's more important to you than the cash. But I found that the cash actually is a better deal. But that's really something you have to decide for yourself, because, you got to figure out what's most important to you. And there's apps, and when I gave you that total, Ibotta was the one I mentioned the most. I literally this last quarter, I bought something that I actually got for free, Nicole, because it was on clearance, and I've already flipped a couple of them. And so they paid me, it was a penny, but I didn't care. But they paid me an extra penny on top of the cost of the product. So I had no product cost when I bought this product after the rebate.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Renata had something similar. I went to her house. She had an 8-cent check sitting on her kitchen table.
I love it. I love it. I love
Renata. Why
Renata.
do you have an 8? I said, it costs more to print the check and to mail it than I said, what are you going to do with this check?
Exactly.
But these rebates, Renata's another one that also is a saver, huge saver. And, being a single mom, I'm a single mom too. You just do what you have to do to be able to take care of your family. And sometimes you don't realize how the benefits of that can spill over into your e-commerce business. But yeah, I've seen the 1 cent checks, 8-cent checks.
Amen. I mean, because I was a single mom from 2010 till 2015. And that was when my youngest was growing, going through high school and stuff. And she's pretty high maintenance. They both are. But it's expensive. And when you've got kids going through growth spurts and kids going to, play in sports and kids involved in activities, it's pricey. And, if you're fortunate enough to get child support, then that helps, but it still doesn't cover everything. It doesn't even cover half of it. Anyway, so any way you can get something, that's, that helps you and your bottom line, and it can help your e-commerce business, as Nicole pointed out, because for me, that's what this has done, is it's really helped my e-commerce business over the last year and a half, especially when I was figured out that I could put these coupons and these savings together, because, when you buy something for 4 cents and you can, if you sell it on Amazon and after the fees, you're still making $5. I mean, that's a decent price. It's not great, but it's not awesome. It's nothing to sneeze at. And
some of that stuff, the smaller items or the less expensive items may have like an amazing rank, which means they're flying off the shelf.
Exactly.
So you can just repeat. That's what it is.
That's the truth. So, but again, Ibotta is one of my favorites. There are several others, and each person has their own, but that is my favorite. So, and then I've talked about Advantage Shopping, and I've also talked about Ebates. Again, you go through their link. You
talked about some of the stores. So she mentioned several stores on the other page, and she said a lot of those stores have their own apps. One of the challenges I run into is not having enough space on my phone, which is a whole new level of ridiculousness. And I carry 4 different phones, so I really have no excuse. But just the fact that, everybody wants you to install their app. So if you can't install everybody's app, figure out the 2 or 3 places that you go to on a regular basis for your family, for your shopping, or for your household, and then also 2 or 3 places that you go to for your e-commerce business, and then install those apps if you can't install an app for every single store.
That's true.
There's apps for every store, and then you can go on to, like, some of them have a promotions page or a coupons page or whatever, and you can go there and be able to use the app to save money, like she said before.
And I do that all the time. I mean, that is something. When Nicole and I went on our shopping trip, that was where that came from, was an alert I got, and from that app. And I said, come on, let's go. We're going to do that. I'm going to do this. You want to come? And she said, sure. And then I think she just got a little scared, I think, after it was all over with. But that's all right. We're going to take her back out again, and she's going to take me out. She scares me too. I'm going to tell you, she scares me with the things that she does. So we each have our own level of scared, but we'll get through it. It's all good because we all learning from each other. So
that's good. And this is a great opportunity for you to learn about some things that you hadn't thought about. I wanted to ask you a quick question, because apps take up so much space. What size or how much, are you like 32 gig? What on your phone so you can get all those apps on there? What are you doing?
You know what? Actually, I don't put much on my phone except for my apps. I have photos and I have them on iCloud for the most part. But everything else, I have plenty of space. In fact, I had to upgrade because my phone, it it fell out of my hand about a month ago, and it ripped, as the kids would say, rest in peace, because it just got to the point it was starting to have splinters, and it made me sad. But the phone salesman and I looked at my phone, and I only used 29 gigs out of 128. So I just went down to 64 gig. But a lot of them, I don't have a whole lot of other things on my phone besides apps, and I have Facebook and I have Messenger, but I don't use it. I use Instagram some, but I use Twitter, but just the normal basics. So
Okay.
I don't know what you've got on your phone, but
Well,
I don't have many games, so that may be it, because I don't put games on my phone.
I don't have games on mine either, but I have a boatload of photos, and I've uploaded those. But when you're creating bundles, you take pictures, and I use my iPhone and another phone for that. So okay, I was just curious.
I mean, what I do with my when I do bundles, though, is I upload them and get the photos to my computer, and then use Photoshop to create the bundle, and just save the photo on my desktop or my screen, my screen or whatever. But each of us has our own way of doing stuff. I'm just kind of, for me, it's just easier to do it on my screen because I can see it. That's the main thing.
All right.
So let's see now. Okay, I've got a deal I'm going to share with you. And it was still pretty good, but it was much better the first couple of times I did it, but this isn't a bad deal still. I mean, the bottom line is, this is at Walgreens. And one thing about it, it's a diabetic sugar reader. And there's a lot of people these days who are needing these things, because if you've been watching any kind of television, there's all sorts of diabetes, as my mother would say, sugar things, and you may just need an extra one. Right now, it's $29.99, and it says it's not stolen stores. That's a lie, because they are, because I find them all over the place here. But you have that $20 off the card. So if you have a Walgreens card, it's $9.99. And that last time I looked, they were selling for $29. And I haven't looked in the last 2 or 3 days, but that's still about a $10 profit. And it flipped pretty quick for me. So, but that's one of my things I found. So, and it's in the store. And I've got one other one for you, and I've got some. This is something I just did recently, and I alluded to it.
That was at Walgreens. So
that's at Walgreens. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now here's the next one. Oh yeah, I sent this to Nicole. She almost had a fit. Anyway, I was at Target, and this was on February 20th. And this was the day. I'm excited about Target again is the fact that they are now going back to 90% off on their candy, or they have the last 2 seasons. And I am just so excited, because for the longest time they wouldn't go there. And so they did, and that made me happy. And so they have a rule, though, about how many coupons you can use in a purchase. And I played their game, and I went to the self-checkout, so I didn't beat a regular cashier down. But if you look, I paid 29 cents for 8 items. And these are apples that they have a pretty decent rank. I haven't looked at them in the last couple of days. There's been a price dropper that's tried to get in there, but I think we've got them out of there now. But if you look, even with the Twix that were a dime, even with the M&Ms that were, I think I had to buy a real thing of M&Ms to get my total working for me because of these 2 items. You look, and I spent 29 cents, and you divide 8 into that, that's 3 cents. That's not even 4 cents. That's 3 cents per item. 3 cents. And on this one, because I didn't have the 2 10-cent items in here, I have 8 Dove things, 34 cents, 8 divided into 34, 8 times 4 is 32. So you see, even with tax, we're talking 4 cents. And so, especially with Easter coming up, right after Easter, get out there to those stores, because there's going to be certain things like those Peeps that will be going. They will be going down, and they will keep going down. Peeps will sell all year long. I've been still selling Peeps.
Yeah, and the irony is that after Easter, that's one of the first things that Walmart will put on clearance.
Oh, absolutely.
The Peeps on clearance, and that's a trick and a tip. So this is a free gimme. Whenever after the holidays, go buy the candy, especially the candy that was the hot candy, because people want to eat that all year round. Even though that holiday is over, they want to be able to find it. And so at that point, you can name your price point. Another one is sometimes with the specialty cereals that they only have like comes out at Halloween, or it only comes out, at Christmas time or whatever. You want to take advantage of that. Make sure you check the expiration dates on those, because again, that's another item that at some point, the cereal doesn't so much go on clearance. There's some stores that do a better job of putting it on sale afterwards, but others do not. But Walmart always puts their Peeps on clearance after Easter. So heads up.
They all do. And I mean, the thing is, the weirder the Peep, the more likely it's going to sell. I mean, you may have to wait a while. You may have to be patient, but it will sell. Yeah. And Nicole alluded to cereal. This fall, I just happened to get lucky and walked into one of my favorite grocery stores, and they had marked the pumpkin spice Cheerios down to $1.74, and then they had the 5 off 5. So I was getting those things for 74 cents a box, and I was flipping them for almost $20 for 2.
See,
I mean, I'm telling you, coupons will help your ROI every time.
Every time.
Because I saved that on top of it. I mean, $1.74 wasn't bad, but 74 sure is a lot better than $1.74. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. So, but anyway, those are my tips that I have for you. So one thing I'm going to ask you to do is please follow me on Facebook. I finally gotten Facebook official with my coupon countess, and I'm going to be putting some tips out there a couple times a week. And if you'll please follow me, that'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, be sure and send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'll be happy to get back to you. So I appreciate you having me, Nicole.
I'm so glad that you came. I'm going to ask one last question, and then we will wrap this up. So for those people who are not, or just not really big into couponing, what 2 or 3 strategies, like if there's one app you recommend that they do, if there's one coupon strategy that you recommend that they implement, if they are like short on time, short on patience, they don't want to be behind that person that has the book of coupons.
Exactly, because I've been that person. And that, first of all, if they're wanting to get started, download the store you go to the most. App.
Okay. Download the app. Okay, that's number one.
Unless it's Aldi, because Aldi doesn't have an app.
Okay.
But if you go to Kroger, download the Kroger app. If you go to Albertsons, download the Albertsons app or whatever, and go through there and download the coupons that you use. And I mean, actually, Kroger, they do those points for gas discounts. If you buy a gift card there, you get a certain number, you get extra points. And I mean, they even have some coupons on there for you to get like 200 points on gas, which that's 20 cents.
Wow.
And that's easy.
Okay.
That's real easy to do. And then as far as you were asking me, as far as just, trips, I mean, that's the biggest one, is just start slow, because nobody, number one, everyone's afraid of being the extreme couponer. I think it's kind of fun, but a lot of people don't want to be that person. They just want to have enough time to save a little money. Start small, because Rome wasn't built in a day. And, if you're going to eat an elephant, you're not going to eat the whole thing in one bite. You're going to eat it one bite at a time. So if you want to get started in saving money, just start small, because every cent you save is a cent that's not spent.
Yes, that's right.
You can use it for something you want to use it for, whether it be your e-commerce business, you personally, whatever, or a trip, or whatever you want to do. But for every cent you don't spend, you can put it somewhere else. And that's the biggest thing. You need to think of it that way.
All right. Well, thank you, Toni, for your time. Make sure that you guys, that one tip. And then she also has a bonus for All Access Pass members. So you'll also get some additional information on couponing from Toni. So I appreciate you today. Thank you for this amazing session. I got some things I have to rethink. And I hope all of you can see that there's some savings in your profit margin there, not just for your household, but also for your e-commerce business. A lot of it we talked about with grocery, but if you're not ungated or in grocery and you can't sell it, then think about some of the other stores that you might frequent that you have not thought about that actually has coupons or has a seller app, has an app. So think about that and install that if that's a store that you frequent on a regular basis as part of your e-commerce strategy. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate your time. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it too.